Gin with the Just Gin, living my 360-degree life podcast. And today we have an amazing guest. Her name is Deondra Wardell. And she and I go way back, and she's amazing. She's going to tell you all about her business and all of what she's doing. She is an amazing entrepreneur. And so, but before we do any of that, let's do our housekeeping. I need you to like, subscribe, and share to my YouTube channel. And you can find me at bit.ly/justginlive. The G in just is capitalized, the G in Gin is capitalized, and the L in live is also capitalized. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Just Gin Live. And you can also find my author page at Just Gin on Facebook. And my website to check out me and my books, that is www.jennoonspalding.com. So I do want to welcome Deondra, but before I do, you know how we do things. Let's read her bio. Yes, I have to put my glasses on now so I can see you. Okay, a visionary leader and speaker, Deondra Wardell specializes in empowering individuals and corporate groups through strategic visioning to achieve goals and sustain transformative change. Deondra launched onto the next one, Consulting LLC, to serve as a strategic partner and cultural change agent. She works alongside clients to assess, prioritize, and address operational challenges. Her services range from facilitating strategic planning workshops to continuous improvement training, to coaching leaders on operationalizing diversity, equity, and inclusion. Deondra's vision is to help organizations and individuals overcome obstacles and achieve their grandest goals one step at a time. This includes her passion project, the Root Cause Racism Movement, a global initiative to end systemic racism and advance social justice through the application of continuous improvement. So it's with no further ado that I introduce to some and reintroduce to others, Deondra Wardell.
Hey there. How are you doing, Jen?
So glad to have you on my show. Oh my gosh. We
Thanks
go
for
way
having
back.
me. Yes, we
Oh,
do. We
I,
really, we truly do.
I just love you. I feel like, oh, I can't wait to see you in person, girl. It's been so long. My treat. We're going to go to Dairy Queen. I'm just joking. Okay, let's get into this interview, honey. Okay.
Okay.
You are a visionary leader, speaker, and encourager. Please share with us how you began your journey to launch your business. On to the next one, Consulting LLC.
You know, I had always had just this calling, or I just knew that at some point in life, I would go into business for myself. And it was a series of events in my personal career, well, my personal life, and as well as my professional career, that everything just all merged together. And I arrived at the decision that the time is now. But what sparked that was after the murder of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, I worked with my colleagues in the continuous improvement community because I had been posting on social media hashtag root cause racism. I was very frustrated by what I was seeing going on in the world with people who look like me and my loved ones. And considering that I'm from a continuous improvement background, I'm like, there's something, we have the tools, we have the methodologies, we have the know-how to fix some of the most complex problems in the world. Why can we not apply what we learn to, undoing systemic racism? And so from that, like I said, I collaborated with my colleagues in the continuous improvement world. And I took that hashtag root cause racism and started out as a blog series where we wanted to create not only awareness, but, move people to action as it relates to, doing anti-racist work. And so from that blog series and that first webinar, I just felt a sense of purpose and joy, and really feeling like, you know what, I can make a change in this world that I did not want to let go of. And after that first series, along with some other events that help me to arrive at that point, I went back to my 9 to 5, and I had a position in a C-suite. I was a chief strategy officer at a nonprofit organization, and I submitted my notice. And I did not have one client lined up. I didn't have one speaking engagement. I just had this calling. I had a promise from the universe. I had my phone, a vision, and a website. And I said, let's see what will happen. And 2 years later, here I am. Still
Look
standing.
at God. Oh my
Yes,
God. Oh,
yes,
I have
yes,
goosies.
yes. And I have to be careful when I'm on podcast or what have you, and I start talking about this, because I'll throw these glasses, I'll lose all of the makeup that I have on, and it'll be an ugly sight. But God has been good to me, and he has been faithful to his promise. And I'm just so grateful that, he's chosen me to do the type of work that I'm doing, to
Yes.
make an impact on the lives of others.
Yes. Yes. You've always been such a special person, just so smart and kind to everyone, loving, just highly intelligent. And just I remember when you taught Sunday school and you were just so precious. And I was just sitting there, I was like, wow, Deondra's just so good. And then I use something you used to say all the time. Even a broken clock is right 2 times a day. And I
That's
was
it.
like, that is so true.
Mhm.
And, and that's just like, but all broken crayons still color. I mean, you can find something good in everything if you're willing and able to look for it.
That
There's
is so
something good.
true. That is so true. And what's so funny, I'm so thankful for that teaching experience. I started teaching Sunday school when I was 13. But it was something about teaching Sunday school at St. Stephen Church under the leadership and guidance and mentorship of Dr. Kevin Wayne Cosby. There are things that I learned in teaching, and even when I was superintendent of Christian education, that
Mhm.
I've been able to apply in my professional life. And even now, when I do workshops, especially when I do anti-racist training and I'm coaching and I'm working with leaders, one of the things that I remind them of is to not be so certain. And
Mhm.
I will say a broken clock is right twice a day. And what I mean by that is we need to see the value in others. And just because
Mhm.
they on the outside, it looks like the hands aren't moving like the clock, and there may be some difference where we want to write a person off. We shouldn't do that, because there is
Yeah.
value. There is value in
Mhm.
every human being that's on this earth.
Hey, man, so
Yes.
true. Okay, sis, if you weren't consulting and being an entrepreneur, what would you be doing now?
I would be a full-time philanthropist. I would
Mhm,
spend all of my time volunteering. Especially there are a number of nonprofit organizations here in Indianapolis, where I'm fortunate to serve on the advisory boards for. But not only that, between the work on those advisory boards, the work I do volunteering with my sorority, and then friends I know who lead nonprofit organizations who are making an impact on the lives of children and those who are in historically ignored communities. I would spend my time volunteering. Daytime, I would volunteer. By night, I would be a backup dancer or be on stage with Beyonce, because I love to
all
dance.
right,
Yes,
hey.
yes, 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 yes. So I know, that's kind of, polar opposite, but that would be what I would enjoy doing, volunteering and dancing.
Yes, I love it. Shake your fat parts, girl. Shake them, shake them.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of those, but okay.
Well, I was talking about your booty,
Oh
booty,
my goodness.
your booty. Okay, so what superpower would you choose for yourself? And give me an example of how you would use it in everyday life.
Superpower. Hmm. If okay, this is one superpower. It may sound weird, but this is something that I would love to have.
Okay.
I would like the ability to be able to remove pollutants.
Oh,
So now I'm going somewhere with this.
okay.
Um, because I've had there's a number of different organizations I've had an opportunity to work with. As a matter of fact, one of them is the United States Environmental Protection Agency. And some time ago, there was a project that I was working on, and I was just blown away by, just the different cities and communities right here in the good old United States of America, where people do not have clean drinking water and access to clean air and things like that. So if I had some type of superpower, I would go into these communities that have been historically ignored and proper resources have not been invested to
Mhm.
ensure that, folks in those communities have clean air and clean drinking water.
Now, how do you practice that every day a little bit in your
How would
life?
I practice that or are you talking about if I had the superpower?
Like that not that you could remove pollutants, but like, do you do your part every day to kind of help not to increase pollutants? I mean, are you vigilant about, I don't know,
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
throwing things out the window?
Oh my goodness. If through my entire life, I do not believe in littering. I would never throw anything out the window. I very much believe in those different principles my parents taught me as a child: waste not, want not.
Mhm,
And then, I'm always looking for ways to repurpose things. So
mhm,
yeah, it is a lifestyle for me. It's not just, oh, this is cliche, let's do this. Because, I recognize how different things I do or don't do
mhm.
has, a domino effect on the community in which I live.
Right.
And either that effect can be positive or it can be, an adverse impact. So I'm very, very mindful of that.
Love it. Okay, sis. How would you explain your business to a caveman?
Okay, to a caveman. So this is, oh my goodness, it's so interesting that you asked this question because this month marks 2 years that I've been in business. And I don't know if they're your listeners, any of them are Martin Lawrence fans and they used to watch the Martin show. But one of the characters, Tommy, they always like, Tommy doesn't have a job. What does Tommy do? And so, also from Scandal,
Mhm,
there was that classification, that group of B613 that was
mhm.
really mysterious, and no one ever knew what they did. So
Right.
I said
Yes.
that because my mom and my niece and other family members have always teased me and said that either I work for B613 or I'm Tommy, because they early on had a hard time really understanding the work that I did around continuous improvement.
Mhm,
As time has progressed, they began to understand a little bit more. So, like with what I do in practicing the Toyota Kata, my mom says that she thinks I'm trying to start this Kata church where I'm trying to expose everybody to the Toyota Kata and get them, running experiments and doing these other things. So, I said all that to say the simplest way to describe what I do, actually, it was said to me by my grandmother during our last visit together. And what she said to me is, she said, when I went to visit her, she's like, Dee, how's your business going? And I said, Mother, it's going really, really well. I said, I'm so grateful. And she said, your business is like Oprah, isn't it? You're in the business of helping people. And I was like, Mother, that's it exactly. And so to explain it to a caveman or whomever, on to the next one, consulting, all this work we do with strategic visioning, strategic planning, the continuous improvement, training and development, the executive coaching and leadership development. When you boil it all down and make it as simple as possible, what we do at On to the Next One Consulting, we're in the business of helping people.
And that so fits who you are. That's you. I love that. Okay. Who has been your most important professional or spiritual mentor?
So this is a hard one. If spiritual mentor, it's a cross between my first Sunday school teacher. Her name is Mother Dickerson, and she was at King Solomon Missionary Baptist Church in Louisville, Kentucky, who's Reverend Charles Ellis, the pastor.
Okay.
As a child, young child, I hadn't started school yet. My parents were adamant about us going to Sunday school. And so, with all the Bible stories, and I had my own Bible books at home, my mom and sister would read to me. And, as I began to learn, I learned reading from the Bible stories. And so when I every Sunday, I could not wait to get to Sunday school because I always had some deep theological question that I had to ask. And so between Mother Dickerson and one of my great aunts, Aunt Amy, anytime I would visit her on the weekends, she was a very, very, very spiritual, down to earth, very wise woman. And so between Mother Dickerson and Aunt Amy, you would think that I was a second-year student in seminary as a wee, toddler. I had, not toddler, but I was around 4 or 5 years old. And a lot of things, how they entertained my questions and were very serious, that was some of the first seeds that were planted that helped me to develop and grow spiritually and have, helped make me the woman that I am today.
I love that. That's good. Okay. So, what advice would you give your former boss? Your former boss.
My former boss. It's so funny you should ask that because I did give my former boss some advice. I would say this, and I think this applies to not only my former boss, but anyone who's in a management.
Okay.
And what I constantly remind myself of as I lead my team, that it's important to be fearless and not afraid to make hard decisions for the sake of your team and do whatever it is that you need to do that's within your power to create opportunities for your team members to be successful. Don't only look at them in the role that they're in, look at them for what they're capable of achieving and create every opportunity for access so that they can maximize their potential. Basically, as leaders, we should always be looking for who is it that we can bring along to replace us, and so that we have that cycle of succession planning. And so, just be open to whoever that is that you're grooming, that they may look different from you. They may sound different from you. Their style may be different, but still look for those opportunities to develop and help others.
Awesome. That's great advice because you're right. We're not going to be here forever. You have to have, groom someone that can replace you. Look for what they have that they're good at and try to encourage them, and
well, not only that, you may want to take a vacation day from time to time.
right.
you
You can't do
know,
everything.
you can't do it. And then you never know, like,
Mm.
I never know when Beyonce might ring me up and say, Deondra, I need you now to come in as this backup
I
dancer.
know, girl,
I
right?
want to be prepared. And even when, different teams that I've led, and, I've always had the same dry sense of humor that you've known, since we've met forever
And
ago.
loved, and
Yeah.
loved. Yeah.
I would always tell my team, it's important for you to know what I know.
Mm,
And I would look at them and train and develop and mentor them in a way that the goal was for them to replace me. One, because I wanted to be able to take days off. And I would say, and be so serious about it, I know when Beyonce is going to give me a call. I have to be prepared to go on tour. So I know I'm joking, but seriously, that's what we need to think of. Always look at who else we can bring along and who else we can help out along the way, because I know there are many who have not only done that for me, but they still do that for me.
right, right. And not be willing to share your gifts with
Mhm.
others and be open. I love that. I agree with that. So, Deondra, who encourages you?
Oh, I'm very fortunate and very blessed. I won't dare call names because I'll run the risk of missing someone, but I have a very encouraging, devoted, committed family.
Mm,
Um, Beginning with my mom, I'll have to shout out my mom, Dolores
yes.
Wardell. That's the name
Well,
I have to call it. I call her D-Lo. I know I'll get in trouble later, but definitely my mom and extended family, um, my sorority sisters,
mm,
hands down, without a doubt, the members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, as well as my other Divine Nine friends. Those who are part of the other Black letter Greek organizations who are so supportive, colleagues that I've worked with, classmates, those in the continuous improvement community, from the women in lean to lean communicators, the Kata Girl Geeks, the Kata community, my church families, you know, I talked about King Solomon Missionary Baptist Church, St. Stephen Church here in
mm,
Indiana. I'm at Light of the World Christian Church. So
mm,
my church family, I'm just really fortunate that I have a village that's diverse, that's loving and caring. And although, you may see me smiling and joking and laughing, but there are days that get hard
right.
and where I, you know, wonder, oh my goodness, am I doing the right thing? Should I be doing something different, where I question myself?
I
And
know.
it's those times where, one, I'll get recentered, or I'll regain my focus by,
Mm,
one, going back to what's on my strategic vision board. And then two,
mhm,
those who are in my circle, and, those accountability partners and good friends and loved ones that I have that keep me
mhm.
going.
And God always sends you exactly what you need when you're feeling like that, because that's
Amen.
happened to me. I'm interviewing Larry. There's
Oh,
Larry.
hey, Larry. I haven't seen Larry forever.
But yes, 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 I agree with all that. Okay, here's my next question. Okay, if you got to work, opened up your computer and you had 10,000 unread emails, what would you do?
The very first thing I would do is to see if I have some type of virus or something on my computer, because
Oh,
baby, I do
man.
not do unread emails. So I have, with what I talk about in practicing continuous improvement, I practice what I preach. And
Mhm,
so, one of the lean tools is a tool called 5S, and so foundational. And what that does is that it helps you to develop processes and systems in such a way that
mhm,
you can immediately identify abnormalities, and then it guides you in, decision making from there. So with my email system,
mhm,
I have labels, I have categories, I have ways in which things that are organized, I have rules that are set up. And then one of the things I'm careful about is scheduling time to actually go through my emails
Mhm.
And then I'm very, very fortunate that I have a member of my team who helps to manage emails.
Oh,
So, and that goes back to that trust and, sharing and being open about what it is I do in my work because I want, the team to understand what I do. So part of that is, with my email. So very long answer to say, if I had 10,000 emails, red flag, there's an alert because something has gone off in the system and I need to go back and evaluate the process and pinpoint where that, get to the root cause of what's going on and then identify what do I need to do to get this corrected.
got you. I love your organizational tools. You have to tell me more. I do labels and I try to do the categories, but I don't know about the rule. There are some things don't know. So I'll get with you for you can help me because I like to be
Absolutely.
organized and
Absolutely.
it's starting to get a little crazy with me. But girl, okay, so we're down to the last question. I know you've got to rush. You're on to the next one,
On
baby.
to the next one. On to the
Yes.
next one. Yes.
Yes, I love it. So tell us what's next for you, and please, of course, tell my viewers how they can get in touch with you because you're so
Okay. Oh, you're so sweet. I just love
the
you.
truth.
Oh my goodness, there are so many exciting things that are happening. And what I'm most excited about is they're all aligned with what's on my strategic visioning board.
Mm,
So, first of all, there are some keynote opportunities that I have coming up in a few weeks. This is such a huge, I have to pinch myself because I still can't believe it's happening. But the number one lean and continuous improvement conference in the world. It's hosted by the Association for Manufacturing Excellence. This year, I will be keynoting and doing a deep dive workshop at this conference. And it is, and the theme is embrace disruption.
what's
And
the
so
name of what's the name of the conference? I want to
it's
write
it's AME, it's the Association for Manufacturing Excellence.
this up.
It's October 17th through the 20th.
It's October the what?
October 17th through the 20th,
Okay, I'm gonna
and
put
it's
it.
in Dallas, Texas. Yes. And as a matter of fact, on my website and on my social media, there are registration links to register for the conference. And there's also a discount code available to
Oh,
register for the conference. So yeah, so I am so excited about that. Not only that, I have an opportunity to talk about the connection between continuous improvement and the work that I do around diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, the whole strategic planning, strategic visioning, as it relates to change management. So the as I mentioned earlier, the EPA this year they're hosting every year they host what's called a Lean Summit.
mhm.
And I will also be the opening speaker at the plenary, and I'll also be doing a deep dive workshop on change management.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So those are two big things that are coming up
Yeah,
that
they
I
can
am
find
super.
out about all of that on your website. Probably need to go to
Yes.
your website for more details.
Yeah, everything is on my website. How to connect with me. So like if someone is dealing with, they need help with their strategic plan, they
Mhm,
are a member of the C-suite and they need leadership coaching, and especially if an organization is stuck with
mhm,
operationalizing their diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility strategy,
mhm.
we help with all of that. Or if there is a need for a speaker, a keynote speaker, a workshop presenter, what have you. But all of that information is available on my website, deondrawardell.com, DeondraWardelle. So it's a list of all of my speaking engagements, as well as how to contact me, the services that we offer, and this podcast. The link to this podcast will be
Yeah.
on the website. Yes.
Well, yeah, I have all of your information I'm gonna include. I have your email address, your website. You have another one, the root causes, girl. Don't be
Yeah.
forgetting stuff.
Yeah, the root cause racism. But Deondra
Yeah,
Wardell is the main
is the main one.
website because that will take you to where, to my YouTube channel, to
Right.
my social media channels, to all of that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I have all of that. I'm going to
Okay,
include.
great.
But anyway, darling, you are amazing. I'm so glad to know you and just to watch you grow, just seeing you just blossom. It's just been a pleasure to watch, right? And you've always been amazing, wonderful, sweet, just
Oh,
very knowledgeable, and you always knew what you wanted to do. You were headstrong, but not in a nasty, total stubborn way. You were headstrong, but you would listen. You were always been a good listener, and God has blessed you, honey. You are so
awesome.
blessed, and you're blessing others with the blessings He's given you, and that's a beautiful thing. So,
Well,
that's
let me say this. I am so I I'm just humbled and honored that you invited me to be a guest on your podcast. As you said, we go back not only to Sunday school, but working out together at the Y. You know,
yes.
you've done water aerobics with my mom,
Mhm.
and our paths have always been interconnected.
Yeah.
And I've always admired your work and your passion for children. And now what you're doing, with your books, especially around, heightening awareness around sensory issues. And I just marvel at all you're doing. And I still don't understand why you don't age, because you look the exact way that you look. And because we've known each other over 25 years, I think
Yeah.
almost 30 years.
30
Yeah.
years. It's been
Yeah.
I moved here in, 91, yeah, 91,
Yeah.
and I joined St. Stephen right away, and you were already a member of St. Stephen, so
Mhm.
yeah,
And we immediately connected
we did.
because my mom and I, we talked about how you remind us of some of our family members. And I think that's when I went up and introduced myself to you. And we've been friends ever since. But
Yeah,
I'm incredibly proud of all you're doing, and just stay focused. And as we talked about before the show, just continue to stay connected to your purpose, live out your dreams, and just keep moving on to the next one.
yes, I love it. Thank you so much, baby, and you have a wonderful weekend.
Okay, you
All
take
your
care.
shenanigans.
Okay.
I love you.
Bye. Love you
Uh,
too. Bye.
bye. There you go. All right. Oh, it was so wonderful, wonderful, wonderful seeing and being with Deondra. And guys, I hope that you learned and appreciated more about her business and all that she's doing and achieving. And just know that whatever business or whatever passion you have, you too can do it. Whatever God has on your heart, go for it. Okay, so I'd like to thank Deondra for joining us again. And I want to remind you guys to hit the like and subscribe button. And don't forget to share this YouTube video. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, on my Arthur group. It's at Just Gin, or my author page is at Just Gin, and then my podcast page is at Just Gin Live, and then Twitter and Instagram is at Just Gin Live. Okay, well, until next time, here's hoping you are enjoying chai, which is community, health and wellness over 50, author life entrepreneurship, and identity, which we didn't talk a whole lot about it because we were pressed for time. But Deondra definitely hit on the community. She did a little bit of her family and her identity. So she did a lot of them. Entrepreneur, she did all four, really. So I'm hoping that you're enjoying chai each and every day, whether you're active in the community, working a business, or just living your best life. I love you with the love of Christ. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been so awesome. I just feel so inspired with my business and all that I'm doing to reach all of you and just to spread love, spread positivity, and helping children and families that with sensory issues. That is my biggest thing. And I'm on to my new book, y'all. I have to let y'all know about that in the future. Okay, well, my time's up. So bye.